After a near 2-year hiatus of not being able to make any weather videos at the quality I once could, just under 2 months ago I announced that TRA Weather will be returning in the spring of 2022, and here I am back again with a brand new video. Hey everyone, my name is Liam and this is your top weather news and headlines for today's video. The official first full day of spring is today, and spring severe weather is right on time. The first major severe weather outbreak is expected tonight through Wednesday for millions of people across the South and Southeastern United States. In this video, I'll forecast the exact timing of the storms, the location, the cumulative amounts, and who will see the brunt of this severe weather. All this is coming up right here on TRA Weather. Alright, today is March 21st, 2022. First off, I just want to say it definitely feels good to be back forecasting the weather once again. If you are an original subscriber, thanks so much for sticking around with TRA Weather, and if you are brand new to the channel, consider liking this video and subscribing to TRA Weather. I will be back to uploading 1 to 2 times a week dependent upon how Mother Nature is feeling, to keep you all updated and informed on the weather across the United States. So starting off as we normally do with the National Weather Service hazards map, I've zoomed in on the south central portion of the United States where you can see there is just a whole lot of everything going on. Lots of different colors that indicate advisories, watches, and warnings. The watches and warnings that I'm focused on right now are mostly in Texas. The yellow highlighted area is under a tornado watch where conditions are favorable for tornadoes to develop. And the darker pink is under a severe thunderstorm watch where conditions for severe thunderstorm development are also favorable. And as the night progresses, these watches and warnings that will be associated with them will move further east into Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and onward into tomorrow and Wednesday. And believe it or not, on the backside of this storm system, we could get some snowfall in that orange shaded area in northern Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. It's actually blizzard warnings. Pretty crazy to have severe weather warnings and blizzard warnings just a few miles apart. Now this video will be focusing on the severe aspect of this weather system, but if you are under that blizzard warnings, you aren't expected to get too much snow, but it could be very windy and visibility will most likely be poor. So use caution if you have to travel. Alright, now let's time this out with the future radar with the NAM model. The time and other information will be in the upper left corner of your screen. Going to start at 8 p.m. Central Time, currently have some severe thunderstorms ongoing in eastern Texas and Oklahoma, trying to develop into an organized line of storms, but mainly just some moderate to heavy rain into Arkansas, Missouri, and Kansas. And as you can see what I was talking about before, some snow wrapping around the backside of this system in western Kansas and southeastern Colorado. Forward to 11 p.m. Central Time, those thunderstorms become more organized across Texas and Oklahoma, where mainly straight line winds and some hail can be expected with those storms, but also some isolated tornadoes can't be ruled out. But I don't think we will see too many tornadoes until the middle of the night when we start getting some individual discrete supercells in southeastern Texas. Typically when we have a single line of storms, it's a little harder for tornadoes to develop, but when that line isn't organized and the cells start popping up as you see in southeastern Texas, that's when we really need to watch for those tornadoes popping up. As the morning progresses, those individual cells start to line up, but again towards the afternoon hours with sufficient instability, lift, and wind shear, some more individual cells could develop ahead of the main line over the course of the afternoon on Tuesday. And by 9 p.m. Central Time, still have a line of severe thunderstorms, bringing the potential for strong winds, hail, and tornadoes now into portions of the southeastern United States, but slightly weaker than it once was. Now switching over real quick to the available energy, also known as CAPE, and wind shear across the south. CAPE is short for Convective Available Potential Energy. It's basically the lifeline and fuel for these storms. You really only need about 500 to 1000 CAPE to have healthy thunderstorms develop, but once we start to see around 2000 to 2500 plus, that's when we really need to start to watch it. And this is overlaid with wind shear at the surface, which is in white, at 850 millibars, which is in green, and 500 millibars, which is in yellow. The shift in winds and wind speed throughout the atmosphere can help develop tornadoes if the directions are different enough. And as you can see here, Cape values of 2 to 2,500 and some shift in wind direction with height is why we are seeing the high chances for severe weather tonight and tomorrow. And I personally think that eastern Louisiana and southern Mississippi are going to be the places to watch the most for tornadoes. There isn't as much energy as there was in Texas, in Louisiana and Mississippi, but the wind speed and wind direction change with height is very strong. We will see how it all unfolds tomorrow. And now over to the Storm Prediction Center categorical outlook for the rest of today, where a moderate risk for severe thunderstorms, a level 4 out of 5 risk, has been issued for parts of eastern Texas, along with an enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms that covers over 14.2 million people. And I truly think for the rest of today, the tornadoes will be mostly confined within that enhanced risk area. And also a quick note from the Storm Prediction Center, several tornadoes, including the potential for a few strong tornadoes, along with very large hail and damaging winds, are expected this afternoon through tonight, especially across parts of central and east Texas and into western Louisiana. Now to the tornado outlook with torcons. Again, as I said, mainly where that enhanced risk for severe thunderstorms is where you will have the highest chance of seeing tornadoes this evening and into tonight, and that covers over 15 million people with a torcon of 5 or higher. Now moving on over into Tuesday's Day 2 severe weather outlook. The Storm Prediction Center, a regional severe weather outbreak, including potential for strong tornadoes, is possible over the lower Mississippi Valley / the central Gulf Coast region on Tuesday. Yet another moderate risk for severe thunderstorms, a level 4 out of 5 risk, has been issued for parts of eastern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. That covers around 2.2 million people. The enhanced risk extends into Alabama, and as that day progresses on Tuesday, it will eventually make its way further into Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida. But by the time it hits parts of central Alabama, the available energy or fuel for these storms won't be very sufficient, so the severity should decrease slightly on Tuesday night and into Wednesday. But some strong storms and an isolated tornado is still possible, as shown here with Tuesday's torcons. We're really going to have to watch that eastern Louisiana and southern Mississippi region, as that's where the highest instability will be for the duration of Tuesday for this possible severe weather outbreak. And last but not least, the rainfall amounts will mostly consist of 1 to 2 inches, but some higher isolated amounts of 3 to 5 inches are possible, mainly in Texas and Louisiana, where flood watches have been issued in those areas, and also further east that were shaded in green in the National Weather Service hazards map that I showed you at the beginning of this video. Well, that concludes this video of TRA Weather. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, and check out the links in the description below to my social medias. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.